response to this integration?
Yeah, we've looked at a number of options for the organisation, given the circumstance we've been in, basically on the financial front. And we believe this is the best solution for ACT and Southern New South Wales Rugby Union and the Brumbies to integrate like this on the professional and business side with Rugby Australia.
Having two different boards for the professional game and for Club Rugby, how does that all look?
That's sort of the back of house stuff that which we'll work through with Rugby Australia and how it all works. But the main focus for us has been on ensuring the right model we put in place for our staff, players and stakeholders, and outwardly, making sure that we deliver the game as we have been throughout the history of the Brumbies and ACT and Southern New South Wales Rugby Union on the professional and community front. And people not noticing a difference there, but the back of house things will change, obviously, with two boards and how we structure that. But outwardly, it's just no difference for anyone to notice.
So is there a huge impact on Club Rugby and what the John Ident looks like?
No, we don't see any impact on the John Ident or Club Rugby. Hopefully, this will enable us to continue to grow participation. Our participation rates went up 9% from last year, so. Our focus will be to continue to grow the participation right throughout the ACT and our region, which then flows through into our Pathways program into the professional side of the game, both men's and women's.
The financial position the club was in, just how tight has it been over the past?
Oh, we're on record to say, it's right across the landscape of rugby in Australia. It's been tough. We've all been under financial duress. But what we've done over the recent time with Rugby Australia is, really sit down and work through what the options are and how we can stabilise that financial position to enable us to continue delivering the product of rugby throughout the ACT and our region, both at the professional and community level.
How close was the club, I guess, to going bust?
Oh, we've been running a fine line for a while now, so we've had the support of Rugby Australia to get us through to this period, and now the timing is right now to move forward from 1 August in this integrated model with Rugby Australia.
Phil, could the club have survived had it not been for the intervention of Rugby Australia with this model?
No, basically we couldn't have, Tim. No. We looked at a lot of options around, some capital investment and that, but it was hard to get that across the line, given some uncertainty around where the financial landscape is from 26 to 30 with a new broadcast deal. We had a lot of interest and some really serious conversations, but we just weren't able to pull something together. So the support of Rugby Australia to stabilise the financial landscape and to enable us to continue doing what we do and what we've done so well for a number of years is the big positive.
So it's effectively saved the club?
It certainly has, yeah. Yep.
What about you? Do you feel as though it's a relief, given there was a fair bit of argy-bargy last year about what you're going to keep and what you're going to lose? Is it a relief to get to this point? Yeah, I mean,
it probably didn't start off on the right sort of footings last year, but we've certainly rebuilt the trust and the collaboration with Rugby Australia. As Phil said, there's been a change in personnel. We've worked hard together over the last number of months to get us into this position, and we believe this is the best option for us.
Tom, how are you? Sorry, after you, Chris. How are you feeling personally? Because you've been through Canberra Rugby, the start of the Brumbies, gone away, you've come back, and as you said, this was the last resort sort of thing. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good, Chris. I think what we've got to is the best solution to enable us to continue to do what we've done, both at the community level and professional level, to continue to wear the Brumbies colours and give people the opportunity at all levels of the game to play the game, but also be successful in the game. And as Phil mentioned, we do pride ourselves on having a quality high performance program both for men and women, and we want to continue that into the future.
Because I know that the board in particular they didn't want to be the ones to see the Brumbies leave Canberra or move out of ACT Rugby's hands. It goes to show that decision wasn't one that was taken lightly.
No, that's right, and that's one of the things that we've worked through with Phil and Rugby Australia around the certainty for the Brumbies to remain in Canberra, and we've got that guarantee from Rugby Australia that the Brumbies will remain here, we'll play our games here in Canberra, and that was a big driver in being comfortable with the solution we got to.
What about the your staff as well? Because obviously change, there's upheaval, and as Phil said before, that things are going to be worked through. And how are they feeling, and what was their reaction?
Yeah, we've tried to keep the staff up to date with everything that's been happening. And we met with staff yesterday and had communications with them overnight just to let them know the state of play. Yes, change as always, raises questions, creates uncertainty, that sort of stuff. But what we've been able to say to them is that, it is business as usual. We'll work through the back of house workings of this with Rugby Australia to create greater efficiencies, as Phil said, down the track at some stage. But as we start off 1st of August, it'll be, the Brumbies operating the community game and the professional game here in ACT and the region.
Phil, do you stay on as CEO of the new entity or the overall entity, or what happens?
I haven't had that discussion with Phil yet, so I don't know for sure. No, I'll be staying on as the CEO. My contract goes to October this year, and we'll see what happens after that.
So that would oversee both the community and the.
Well, no, there'd be separate entities. So there's we haven't worked out that finer detail. We've got Craig Lesberg, who's the general manager of the community game. Is very experienced in that area. But as we have in my time here, we've worked very closely as one operation, as one team, both on the community and the professional front, and that's the way we want to continue.
Just briefly on the discussions, was there a turning point at all during the discussions, during some of the options that you were considering in terms of the best way to take the Brumbies forward? Was there perhaps some omissions made in some previous sort of canvassed ideas or options?
I think it was the rebuilding of some trust and communication and collaboration, and just taking the time and a few deep breaths to talk it through in a little bit more detail, take away a little bit of the angst. But some of those certainties I spoke about before around our staff, players, and the Brumbies remaining in Canberra were probably the key things.
What would you like to say to fans who might sort of read the headline and think that clubs trying to be taking it away from them? What do you message be to them?
Well, that's definitely not the case. So we'll be here in Canberra and our region as the ACT Brumbies and the ACT and Southern New South Wales Rugby Union, so delivering the community game and the professional game at men's and women's level right across. And there will be no change to how and what we do things as you see us on a day-to-day basis. As I said, it's just that sort of back-of-house stuff and that certainty we have, and the stabilisation of our financial position is what will enable us to continue going on with what we do.